You're accused of abusing your 3-month-old son. I want you to take a look at your boy. Do you know how this happened to your boy? Why not?
Because I was asleep.
What are you laughing about? I'm glad that you can find some humor while your little boy's picture's over there with his face marred by somebody or something. I'm trying to find out what scumbag did this to a 3-month-old baby. A baby's being shaken, punched, slapped. Your baby was being tortured. Why didn't you wake up and hear your baby's cries?
I guess I was too high to even hear.
Too high to help your son who's been beaten. What did you do when you saw your son like that?
I didn't do anything.
Selfish whore. Are you mad at her for what happened to your son? When's the last time you went to bed with her?
Last night.
You slept with a woman that possibly beat your son. We can get to the lie detector test, but I think both of you have proven yourselves to be scumbags. Admit it. Admit what you did. You get one shot at redemption sometimes. This is your shot. Welcome to the show. My first guest is Sandy. I want you to take a look at these pictures. These were taken a year ago at the hospital where it was determined your son was victim of shaken baby syndrome. Your son had blood on his brain, had small frontal lobe damage, bleeding out of his nose, had various scratches, bruises, and knots on his head, a swollen lip and head, and you're accused of abusing your 3-month-old son. Until we find out if you actually did this to your son, you'll stand up and do the show. Walk me through how this happened to your son.
One day I was at home with my son. My husband had left to go fishing, and my friend had came over, and then my husband came home. Before he got home, I was already high on weed.
What do you mean you were high?
High on weed.
Why were you high on weed?
I was stressed out.
And what else besides weed?
Xanax.
Xanax. So you took Xanax, and you started smoking weed. Is that what you should do when you're taking care of a 3-month-old child?
No.
So you're stressed out and you're going to get high and not be in a state of frame to take...
Well, my friend told me that he was going to take care of my son.
Whose responsibility is to take care of your son?
Me.
And look what happened to your boy. Do you know how this happened to your boy? Why not?
Because I was asleep when I got to my friend's house.
You were asleep? What do you mean you were asleep when you got to your friend's house? Where were you and where was your son?
In the car seat next to me.
Was your friend also a drug addict?
Yes.
So you let a drug addict take care of your boy, right?
Yeah. But I was around.
I don't give a damn about that. I want to hear about you seeing your son like this. I want to know what happened to your son. How did this happen to your son?
Well, honestly, I think that my friend's son did it.
How old was he at the time?
4.
3, right? He was 3 years old at the time.
No, he was 4.
He was 3.
Okay.
So you're saying, what are you laughing about?
You're trying to...
I'm trying to do what? Find out who hurt your little boy? Is that what I'm trying to do? Am I spinning the facts? Or are you a drug addict? You like to get high and not take care of your kids. And you let another drug addict watch your child. Who's the one who did something really horrible up here right now? You or me?
Me.
Okay. I'm glad that you can find some humor standing on stage while your little boy's picture's over there with his face marred by somebody or something. I'm glad you can stand up here and find humor in that. I want you to come over here. Come over here. I love that you can crack a smile and think something's funny when you're 3-month-old, somebody did this to him.
I don't think it's funny at all.
And then the other ridiculous thing that I've heard come out of your mouth, you think that a 3-year-old possibly did this to your child. A 3-year-old. Right? That's your theory here? A 3-year-old did this to your son? A 3-year-old caused your 3-month-old baby to have blood on the brain, frontal lobe damage, bleeding out of his nose, scratches, bruises, knots, swollen lip and head. Do you really believe a 3-year-old would be capable of doing that to your son? Do you?
Well, it probably wasn't just him.
Well, then who else?
There was a dog there. It was an aggressive dog.
There was a dog there. And the dog was aggressive? Was there any bite marks reported on this hospital report? So the dog just pawed him. He didn't bite him. He just shook your baby. You want to blame a dog and a 3-year-old? You took a lie detector test before the show, right?
Yes.
We couldn't lie detector the dog. I like the way you can pin it on a dog. Went to go buy drugs, right? You left your son in the car.
He was not left in the car. He was left in the car seat.
How long was he left in the car seat?
All night.
You drove a car high, right?
No, my friend drove it.
Well, he was high. You both were on Xanax, both on weed, right? Who knows what else? And you get in the car to go buy drugs, and you strap your 3-month-old in a car seat, and he was strapped in there all night long. Did you ever think of the safety of your son at all? Did you ever think of, and what thoughts were those?
I should have taken him into my mom's house. Or someone else should have watched him sober.
How about not getting high? How about not taking Xanax? A baby's being shaken, punched, slapped. Your baby was being tortured. Why didn't you wake up and hear your baby's cries?
I guess I was too high to even hear.
Selfish whore. Are you mad at her for what happened to your son? When's the last time you went to bed with her?
Last night.
You slept with a woman that possibly beat your son. Next week on the Steve Wilkos Show.
What happened in that vehicle? I know that you tried to touch me.
I found those charges out today, and I'm here to clear my name.
She's pulling her teeth out. She's picking at her skin.
Why did you leave me?
I hear that child that wants her mom. She's destroying her own body over you. How do you explain a 4-year-old getting a sexually transmitted disease? The guilty run, Josh. The truth will come out here or out there. Next week on the Steve Wilkos Show. Your baby was taken away, right? And why was your baby taken away?
For neglect.
If somebody was doing this to your son, wouldn't you say he had to be crying, screaming? A baby's being shaken, punched, slapped. Why didn't you wake up? Your baby was being tortured. Why didn't you wake up and hear your baby's cries?
I guess I was too high to even hear. I was knocked out.
You were so high that you were too knocked out that you couldn't hear your baby being tortured. Could you have been so high that you did this to your son you don't remember?
No. Because if I was too high, I couldn't move.
Well, maybe the baby was crying and it pissed you off. Maybe you shook that baby so hard you caused all that damage. Not possible, huh?
Well, it could be possible, but I don't think I did it.
So it could be possible. You just said it could be possible.
Well, I know I didn't do it.
Why? Because you're a good mother? You're a good person?
No one's a good person. Everyone makes mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes.
But this was
Everyone makes mistakes. Do you think most parents make mistakes of getting high, dragging their kids, driving high, dragging their kids to crack houses, leaving them strapped in the car seats? Would you think most parents make that mistake with their children? What you're doing? Selfish whore. So when you woke up from this, self-induced drug haze, you roll over and you see your little boy like this, what is your reaction?
I was wondering what happened to him.
I was wondering what happened to him. Why didn't you do something for your little boy who's suffering?
I was too high from the previous night.
You were still too high. You see he's been viciously beaten, and you're too high to help your son. When did you do something?
Well, my mother-in-law did something.
What did she do?
She called the cops, and he was taken away from me.
Did somebody bother taking him to the hospital?
The ambulance came and got him.
Did you call 911? Did you go and do anything to him? Touch him? Pick him up? No. You looking at your son that just got beaten, you don't even pick him up? Why not? Is this painful for you to explain? How do you think he felt? You think this is hard on you? How do you think when he was being beaten like that? What do you think was going through your little boy's mind? Wondering where mommy's at to protect me right now. And mommy's laying over there on the floor high. And then when you're able to open your eyes, you do nothing. Nothing for your little boy. You lost your son over this, right? Do you miss him? Do you want him back? And you say you didn't do this, right? You know you didn't do this. But it's possible, you said. You did say it was possible.
I don't think I did it.
You don't think you did it, but you think a dog and a 3-year-old did it, right? And that's your story. Well, you know what? I was a cop, and I went on a lot of crime scenes. And listening to your story, I think you did it. I think you did it. Your husband said you chopped your son on his head that night.
I never took him out of the car seat.
Let's find out from your husband. You a drug addict?
I was, yes, sir.
And you were a drug addict at this time?
Yes, sir, I was.
And you were high that night, too?
Yes, sir.
And if you weren't high, maybe you could have done something and protected your child.
Correct. I could have kept him home if I wasn't high. And I see that every night I fall asleep.
How did this happen to your son, John?
I don't know. I went fishing with my family. I came back, and there were Xanax involved, and so I took a couple. And apparently I took too much, and I just passed out.
I've been around the block a couple times, okay?
Yes, sir.
Worked the streets of Chicago for 12 years.
Yes, sir.
I know about drugs.
Okay.
Never took them myself, but I know about drugs.
Yes, sir.
Now, you didn't come home from some fishing trip and take a couple Xanax and pass out. That didn't happen. That didn't happen, John. You know what? I ain't buying it, and you shouldn't try to sell it. Okay. I want to know the truth. How did you get so messed up that you pass out, that your child gets taken away?
I took 8 of them, okay?
It's okay. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the truth. You know what I want to do going from this point on forward? Stop trying to make yourself look good. Stop trying to be the victim here.
I'm not.
You're a bad guy. You didn't take 2 Xanax. Now we find out you took 8.
Right.
Now, right.
Right.
So don't tell me you took 2. I know you didn't take 2. You start telling me the truth. This is your son we're talking about. Now, the other thing I want to know is, you said that she dropped your son on his head that night.
Yes, sir, she did. She told me and my mom both that she was walking and somehow she tripped and fell face first and he landed on the ground.
So then she told the story that she was walking with the baby in her arms.
Right.
She
She's told
tripped and
3
fell.
or 4 different stories.
Is that true? You told him that? Did you tell him that? You never told him that you tripped and fell with your baby.
I never was holding him that night.
I didn't ask you that. I want you to answer the question. Should I repeat it again? Are you in a drug-induced state now?
No.
So, did you ever tell John that you were walking, so he's making that up?
Yes.
I would imagine if that was my son's picture up there, and I had to look at it, no matter how much time has passed, I think I'd be sick to my stomach seeing injuries like that to my little boy. And I see nothing from you. You look at your little boy, you know what happened to him, and I see no emotion at all from you. It doesn't bother you?
Of course it bothers me.
Really? How does it bother you? How does it bother you? You laugh on my stage. You don't cry for your son. When's the last time you did drugs?
A couple months ago.
A couple months ago. And what made you stop?
All this stuff that happened.
All this stuff. And I'm sure you didn't do drugs for 2 months. Because you're an honest person, right? You're a good person? No. You find out, you hear this story, just like the one you tried to sell me with 2 Xanax.
I said a couple, I never said 2.
There's a couple, 8, John?
No, sir.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. You better wipe smirk off your face. You're smirking. Do you feel responsible at all about what happened to your son?
Every night I don't get to go to sleep with my son. Every night I have to go out and live my life without him. I can't see him unless I'm right beside my mom. I'm 21 years old.
What do you mean it's BS? What do you mean it's BS?
I want my son. I want to be able to raise him for me.
Well, maybe if you didn't go gobble a whole thing of Xanax, maybe if you didn't get high and you stopped her from taking your son to a crack house, maybe you'd still have your son.
I live with that every night, though.
Really tears you up that you don't have your little boy with you?
You don't even understand.
I don't you're right. I don't understand. Because I want my little son with me.
My point exactly.
But you don't have your son.
No.
And it tears you up.
Yes, sir. That's why I'm clean.
Eats you up every night.
Yes.
It tears you up.
It kills me every night.
It kills you every night. It kills you so bad. You don't
understand.
And who's on this stage is responsible for happening to little
her.
bird?
She was...
And you're really mad at her, right? Are you mad at her for what happened? When's the last time you went to bed with her?
I slept in her room last night because she was scared.
You're so outraged about your son that the woman that's responsible for it, that drove your son high.
We don't know.
We know that your wife is high. We know that she was gobbling Xanax. We know that she turned the responsibilities of taking care of your son to another drug addict. You know they drove your son to a crack house. You know.
I didn't know.
You know no. You know no.
No, I don't.
You know no.
I don't.
And how long has that been, John?
Since I woke up.
John, how long has that been?
Over a year.
That's my point. You know what's happened for the past year. You know that she went to the crack house. You know your little boy was strapped into a car seat. You know someone beat your boy.
But what can I do to change the past? I'm doing what's
How about not giving aid and comfort to her? Why are you trying to make her feel good? Oh, you're scared? I'll sleep in your room because you're scared. I want you to feel good.
I was just trying to do
John,
the right thing.
I think there's somebody else here that is scared. I think there's somebody else that used to give aid.
Really good. That way I could get him back. I've been clean over 9 months.
You're making your life really good.
Yes.
And that's enjoying the benefits of sex and everything else you take from this woman.
No. No.
No.
No.
You still sleeping with her?
No.
Is that true? That's not true. And you know it's not true. You still sleep with her. You slept with her last night.
It was a one-time thing.
Oh! You slept with her.
That was... We slept together.
How does that benefit your son?
It don't.
This woman that caused this to happen to your son, you sleep with the woman that caused this to your son.
Okay, yeah, I'm stupid. I understand that. I'm making mistakes, but I'm
No, you know what? You're a moron. That's what you are. You guys aren't living together, but you go over there, you see her.
No, that's not true.
And you've told us before the show. See, I love it when guys come out here and now they want to spin it like, oh, you know, I'm really a good guy. You going over there, you're trying to repair your marriage still with this woman, and you're still sleeping with us. And you said that to us, John. No, you're not sleeping with her one time. You have been still sleeping with her on a continuous basis.
We never seen each other until tonight, or last night, when they flew us up here.
You've been going over there, and you've been trying to repair your marriage.
No, I have my own girlfriend at home.
That's why you go over to her house and sleep with her over there.
No, I'm not allowed at her house. That's BS.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you ask her?
And last night?
Last night, that was a complete accident.
That was a complete accident?
I regret it.
Tell me how this accident... This is the same way the accident happened with your son, right?
really
This
messed up.
This is the way the same accident happened with your
this
son.
is nowhere near what happened to my son. I was being stupid. I admit that. I take full responsibility for that.
So you know what? You slept with a woman that possibly beat your son, gave your baby shaken baby syndrome, and you're just thinking about yourself. You don't think about your son and be like, you know what? Because of what you did, you will never have me again. You will never get comfort from me. You're betraying your own son by you are!
I'm doing everything I can to get him back. Again, I'm doing everything
You're doing everything you can, including giving comfort to the woman that possibly did this to your son.
Possibly.
So you're willing to give her a benefit of doubt?
No. I want to see what this lie detector
You know
test
what?
says.
You're another scumbag that stands on a stage. You are a scumbag. Hold on. And your son is probably still suffering from this. And you know what you do? You think about yourself. You know what?
That's
enjoyment right now. So you know what? You could attack my son. You can shake him. You can beat him. You know what? But if I get alone with you in a hotel room, I'm not going to cave your head in. I'm going to sleep with you. How was that last night? Were you comforted?
It was nice.
Did you feel good? That was nice. Felt nice?
Got nice.
Someday when your son grows older and we get to the bottom of this and we know who did this to your son, he watches this show and he sees Daddy, who changed his whole life around because of what happened to him, and he sees, yeah, I did in a hotel room. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I'm 21 years old. Look at her, you know?
So when you're 21 years old, you don't have any self-respect, you don't have any morals, you don't have any ethics.
Morals has nothing to do with
When
this.
your son, how old do you have to be not to sleep with your son's attacker? How old do you have to be? Look at your son on that.
I have
Look at
to
your
look at
son.
those pictures every day.
You have to look at those pictures every day.
Yes, they play through my mind. I was the one.
Were they playing with your mind in that hotel room last night? Were those pictures going through your mind last night?
No, but last night
When you were taking your clothes off and laying down with her, were those images going through your mind? Were they turning you on? Sick bastard. Right it is. You're damn right it is.
You think I'm like that? You don't even know me.
You know what? I don't need to know you. I know a man who betrays his own son.
I didn't betray my son.
You
That's
did
why I'm off
betray him.
drugs.
You're betraying him,
That's
man.
why I have a job.
You
That's why I
betrayed
got a car.
You watch your mouth up here. You betrayed your son last night when you laid down with that. You betrayed him, man. And I'll tell you something.
What?
I was 21, and I've never betrayed my family. I've never betrayed the Marine Corps. I never betrayed the police department. And I was a young man, too. And yes, I made mistakes. And I hurt people's feelings. But I know at 21, if somebody hurt my son, I'd never give them comfort again. Did you enjoy last night? Was it good? He said it was good. Did you find it good? Why would you sleep with him?
Because that's still my husband regardless.
Is your husband with the girlfriend? That husband? The husband that gets so high that he can't stop you from abusing your own boy? That husband? That's the guy that you wanted to sleep with? You too. You're still, I'm 21.
I told you I made a mistake.
You keep making mistakes.
No.
You're sucking down Xanax and your boy gets beaten, and then you come and you sleep with the woman responsible for it. You keep making mistakes. And you know what? If you go back to the hotel room tonight, you'll make another mistake.
No, sir.
You know you will. You can't exercise
I'm going back to
control
my
last
girl.
night. You won't exercise control tonight. What's different? What difference does 24 hours make, John?
We'll see what the lie detector test says. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? We can get to the lie detector test, but I think both of you have proven yourselves to be scumbags on my show. This is your mom, sir.
Yes.
And she's taking care of your son?
Yes, sir.
Let's bring her out. Let's hear what she has to say. Ma'am, you're a hero for taking care of this child, you may sit on my stage if you like. Here's the one person that's brave enough to do the right thing by a child. You called the police. You saw this child injured. You gave it aid and went to comfort the baby. Right?
Yes, sir.
And what did she do?
Laid on the ground and acted like she was dying herself.
I got to ask you, ma'am, and I know it's got to be tough. Your son stands out here, and he's no prize either. I hear this story, and it appalls me. But this is who your son chooses to lay down with. This is who he picks to have a child with. Your son gobbling Xanax so that he can't stop her, that he passes out. Your grandson is strapped in a car seat for 8 hours and then is beaten by someone. And what does he do last night? He sleeps with her.
Yeah.
It's like sleeping with the enemy.
Yeah.
This is your grandson, his son, and he's comforting her. He's giving himself to her last night after everything that happened to your son.
It's sickening.
As a mother, you hear your son do this.
Absolutely. It's sickening.
What are you going to do with the baby?
As it stands right now, I'm going to keep him for the next 18 years. I mean, I have no intentions of being mama. I'll always be his nana's.
And if she fails this lie detector test?
If she fails this lie detector test, I will do everything in my power to make sure that she never sees him again.
And what if your son fails his lie detector test?
The same goes. They are no longer my concern. I've raised him. I've loved him. I've done everything I can do for him. My concern now is that baby. And nobody else matters.
The results of John's lie detector test. Did you ever physically harm your son? You answered no. Do you know who physically harmed your son? You answered no. Are you trying to protect anyone who physically harmed your son? You answered no. Did Sandy tell you that she dropped your son on his head the night in question? And you answered yes.
Yes.
And based on your lie detector results, you have told the truth. Listening to your story, hearing what you had to say, I don't even have to read these results. I can look at a person and see that they're unemotional, they don't care, selfish, take chances with their child. You know you did it. You know you did this to your son. I'm going to read your results. But you know the dog didn't do this, and the 3-year-old didn't do this. You know you did this to your baby. And if I'm wrong, I'll apologize to you. And boy, is that going to be tough for me. But I know you didn't, and I'm fully confident that you failed this lie detector test. You want to tell me anything before I read it? Did you ever physically abuse your son? No. Did you ever violently shake your son? No. Do you know who physically abused your son? You answered no. Did you admit to John that you dropped the baby on his head the night in question? You answered no. And the results of your lie detector tests is that... Did you admit to John that you dropped the baby on his head the night in question? You answered no. And the results of your lie detector tests is that you haven't told the truth. You failed. You failed every question that you were asked. You have not told the truth. And you know deep down inside, you did this. And then you have the audacity to blame it on a 3-year-old child and a dog. And what gets me is when you know that you did it, you didn't even bother to get up and give aid to your son. You let this woman, she had to do it because if she didn't do it, you weren't. And you were just going to let him suffer and suffer and suffer. I can understand why you'd want to lie about that. But I think for your son's sake, that maybe you should stop lying and admit to what you did. Admit it. Admit what you did. You might not remember it all, but you know you did it. Admit it. You get one shot at redemption sometimes. This is your shot. Give your little boy something for what you did to him. Admit what you did. And at least give everybody the peace of knowing that there's no need to look any farther. Look at me and tell me you did it.
I did it.
You did. And you're lying about it.
I can't tell you that I did it.
You have something you know you did. You know.
The only thing that I could tell the truth is that I neglected him.
And you did this to your son. You put that beating on him. Right?
Yeah.
So you admit it then. You did this, right? Right?
I can't say that I did it.
Because you don't remember, but you know that you're the cause of this, right?
Yeah.
You know you're the cause of this, that you did this to your son.
I didn't do it to my son, but I know that he got hurt because of...
You know it happened because of you. You did it. You might say that you don't remember it, but you know you did it. You did it, and that's why you failed, because you have some memories of doing it. And you're emotionless. It don't bother you. You're cold. And you know you did this to your son. She just said she knows she did it. Hold on a second. And you slept with her last night. You want to blame being 21 for sleeping with the monster that did that to your little boy? To betray your little boy?
I didn't betray.
You got one? Yes, you know what, John? Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
When you slept with her last night, you betrayed your little boy. Mom, did he betray your grandson?
Absolutely.
That's your own mother saying it, John. That ain't me. What was that? This is the woman that takes care of your son. This is the woman that saved your son.
I made a mistake. Let it go. I didn't beat
I'm not letting it go.
Let it go.
You shouldn't be letting it go. You shouldn't be letting it go.
I let it go right this second. As soon as I heard those papers, I let it go. It's out the window.
It's out the window.
It's out the window.
I don't think I'd let any go.
No, it's gone. Oh, it's way gone.
What's gone, John?
Her. No. Yes.
Oh, so now you won't sleep with her anymore.
No, we're getting divorced first thing. No, I can't do it. How could I do that? That would be messed up. Yeah, I admit I made a mistake last night.
You're pathetic.
Yeah, okay.
You're pathetic.
Whatever you have to say.
Whatever I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're going to hear it.
Okay.
You're a scumbag for getting so high that you couldn't protect your son. You're a scumbag for up here arguing with your mother.
I'm not arguing with her. I'm
yes, you
arguing
are.
with you.
You're arguing with your mom. She knows you betrayed your son. I know you betrayed your son. And someday, your son will grow up and see
He's gonna know all
that his
about
mother
it.
knows that she did this to him and that daddy was sleeping with her the night before.
One time.
John, one time. One time is all it takes to betray your little boy.
No.
To sleep with the person that caused him unbelievable damage. And you're so selfish.
Oh.
You did it for yourself. You didn't think about your little boy. Who
Really?
did you do it for last night? Who did you sleep with her for? Who was it for, John? Who was it for? It was for you, you selfish bastard.
Really?
You did it.
Really?
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 Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
You know what?
Good TV show, right?
You know what? That's right. Because
Good
of
TV
guys
show.
like you, because of monsters like this, you're right. That's why I have a TV show. And you know what the show's all about? You standing here and people at home getting to look at you and realizing maybe I shouldn't be like that moron on stage. And that monster there, she's exposed to the world now. And now we know. You got children, keep them away. And don't lay down with a woman that hurts a child. Yeah, that's what it show's for. That's what it's for, John. And you know what? Your dumbass still wants to defend what you did. You still want to defend what you did last night. Get the hell off my stage. Mom, thank you for being the one person that didn't get high that night, that saw a child in distress and do something about it. And thank you for coming on and being a responsible parent and saying, you know what, my son is a dumbass, and not just defend him, knowing what he did. And that's got to be tough for you, but I commend you for that. And I want to say thank you for taking care of that child. You got to take care of that child, and you got to be the one. I'm going to ask you to leave the stage now, and I hope you continue taking care of your grandson. An innocent person would come on the show, take a lie detector test, knowing that they didn't hurt their child, knowing they didn't hurt the child. And if they failed, they'd be screaming their heads off that injustice was done. And you're emotionless, and you don't care, and you just want to block everything out that you did, what you did to your little boy. It's amazing how you could give so much to a baby, life, and you destroy your own little boy. Destroy your own little boy. And you know what? Hopefully someday you'll rot in hell. Everyone's got something to say about the Steve Wilkos Show. Whether you love it, hate it, or have a funny comment, drop a line in Steve's mailbag at stevewilkos.com. If I read your email on the air, I'll send you a free t-shirt. You've never struggled a day in your suburban white picket fence life. How can a man who's had everything handed to him relate to middle-class people who live in bad areas and suffer in poverty? My father was a Chicago police officer. I was raised in a middle-class family in the city. I wasn't given any handouts. When I was a Chicago policeman, I encountered people from all walks of life who needed help. There are people from every income bracket who are victims and abusers. Some of your shows bring tears to my eyes. I've had some sad memories from my life where I was a victim in several ways beyond my control. You're right to the point. I appreciate what you're doing for our society. Thanks, Steve. Peter. I'm very fortunate to be able to confront abusers on this show. I'm sorry you're still suffering from the horrors of your past, Peter. Anytime you want to tell your story on the show, just give me a call. If you want to expose these creeps, post their pictures on your show. Hammering away at them isn't working. Hello? Tara. When someone asks for my help, I ask questions. When an abuser voids the truth, I dig in and I get answers. Here's my last email. I watched your show from time to time and have thought your actions were staged. Not this time. I just watched a show about the dad who broke the leg of his 8-week-old daughter. This guy was a monster. You did get him to talk. You treated him exactly the way he should have been treated. I have never been so moved by a talk show. Stephanie. On this show, the monsters are real. Unfortunately, parents are supposed to protect their children from harm, not cause it. Vince can't protect himself. That man needed to understand his horrific actions against his baby. Although he accepted responsibility for his actions, he can never take them back. Thanks for watching, Stephanie. Set furnishings provided by Rent-A-Center. We make it easy to make it your own.